Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I was watching YouTube clips of Gunsmoke. You know, every once in a while, you gotta break the stereotype. I loved watching Gunsmoke when I was a kid. Brings back memories of my grandfather. Let's see, who do we have here? Give me 1 second, guys. I thought maybe we'd talk a bit about healing. Cat says yes. Number one. Cat says wowzers. What are we wowsing about? Soulstar says so again. Hello, Soulstars. Cat says uh, Uh, hi to Soulstar. My cat said hi to you guys. Hello, beautiful sister. I love that. Hey, Michael. Michael say the Yogi. How's it doing, buddy? Hey, I just saw a clip from our friend um, Jason in the hospital, still making videos. How creative is that? That's a sign of someone who's really going to be a success. Speaking of success, how's the writing going, Michael? Chapter 5. Hey there, Soul Stars. So, Kat, are you off again tomorrow? Hey, Cheyenne. Jensen says, "Hey Eric, how are y'all? I'm good. Cheyenne, it's nice to see you. And the cable company, Gator's here. Hey Gator. Gator says, liked up, brother. 5. Appreciate that. Rock on. I'm gonna do my best, Gator. Are you guys subscribe to Gator? Cable company, really fun channel. Informative, and he makes it so much fun to hang out with him. Absolutely love hanging out with Gator. Full support, my friend. Cheyenne, how are you? Ouch. Michael says, haven't started chapter 5 yet, but it's going to cover cases surrounding demonic possessions. Wow. Now, that's a thing that's always a little scary. Having seen The Exorcist when I was a kid, not only that, I've been to the steps where the Exorcist, where the priest was pushed down. I've been to those actual steps. It's in Georgetown, which is only 30 minutes away, 20 minutes away, depending on traffic. It says I'm 9 away from 2K subs. All right, let's get busy. Who here is not subscribed to Cheyenne Sings? What's up, Stuart? Fisherman's Lodge, send some love. Appreciate it, Stuart. Oh, I remember you mentioned that. Tomorrow I have a session with a friend. The process said hi. Appreciate that process. So yeah, the book The Exorcist, of which the movie is based on, was both being based on supposedly a true story. Took place in Georgetown, which in my teens we used to drive to Georgetown fairly often because the drinking age was 18. When you're 16, it's very much easier to pass for 18 than it is to pass for 21. They also had a lot of head shops. If you guys remember head shops, you probably don't. And I'm glad you don't. Different time. Different time for me. Michael says, I'm trying to get a Mysteries Untold premiere for Friday. Nice. Any theme? Oh, there's the theme covering Florida hauntings. Stuart says, Fisher's Lodge, or Stuart said, Cheyenne, you're at 1.09. You'll be at 1.10. You got 890 to go. Well, get busy, Stuart. Start subscribing. You know how it works. Willis says, Stuart says, sorry, 990. Willis says, hope you all are good. I'm doing pretty good. I took a walk. I had something to eat. Took a walk after the live stream. Got a few more really nice close-ups. Sorry, guys. 1 second. That's actually a call from the Philippines, but I'm unable to take it right now. So yeah, I got some close-ups of the hawk. I got the ducklings again. Sadly, there's not as many ducklings as there were when I first took it. I got a couple of shots of some pretty cool looking turtles. I love doing filming turtles. Michael says my channel has gotten 97.1 watch time hours since I've been doing live streams. Well, nice. What's your total watch hours, Michael? How close are we to 3K? Well, I was in the background for much of your live streams. Sorry. Oh, well, Stuart's got his driving lessons tomorrow. Good luck, Stuart. You're going to do fine. Who else says, how is everyone? Uncle says, 1K, 304. All right, we're getting closer. Our friend, I just saw our friend Jesse is live right now. Signature is live. Hey, Susan Naokobi, mispronounced. Susan is live, and I promised her some watch hours. If anyone wants to have her run in or go and visit. And Mary's Gigs is live, as is trending. So we got a full house here, guys. All right, Archie, it's a good supporter. Yo, Kat, I see that you were live again, right? Sorry, I missed you. Willis says, that's why my phone is always in silent, the noise. And why not? Got you. This morning I got some really nice shots of owls, or an owl, I should say. What else? No beaver. I haven't seen a beaver all week. Willa says, thanks. I appreciate it, my friend. You're welcome. I enjoy your live streams. I enjoy hanging out with you, Willa. Willa says, I was just, I don't know. Did you hear Flopsy? Why I said, can you hear her? I think she was, I heard you say that she was snoring. How are your cats? Well, one cat is just, after repeatedly sticking her claws in my leg, has plopped down next to me. Just moving her tail around, being a cat. I think she heard me talking to Cat and Jack about getting a dog. So now she's all concerned about it. Michael says, I'm going to be doing a random live sometime tomorrow. May then on a guess. Not sure what time, probably morning sometime. I'll be on the lookout for you. Well, says, I love beavers. I love beavers too. I've been tracking this one particular beaver for 2 years. And then 2 days in a row. Actually, one day and then a day off, because that's when I went to the hospital. And then the next day, I saw the beaver. Maybe tomorrow. Hey, Duncan. Duncan says, hey, Eric. What's up, Duncan? Well, so did you see the end? Phoenix, she got me laughing. I did not see that part. What were you laughing about? Hey, Blue Dream. Oh, it's Buddha. What's up, Buddha? Well, says she's grumpy now. Sherba says, hope you're having a very blessed day. Thank you, Cher. I hope you are too, my friend. Willis says, Sherbert, hope you're good. Sherbert says, hi to yoga. Hey, Shirley. Will there be baby beavers soon? I've only seen one beaver. So I don't know if there's any mating going on. Man, I would love to see baby beavers. I'd love to see two beavers. I am seeing ducklings. First time so far. The other day I did see goslings, which changed my walk, changed the direction of my walk immediately. Let's see. I'm hoping to see some baby fox kits. They're called kits. How are you, Shirley? Michael says, I'm actually getting pretty comfortable with doing live streams. I never thought I'd say that. You made yourself good, Michael. I keep mentioning you've turned yourself into a professional. Uh, Duncan says, have you looked any farther into age group events? Not much. If I do, it's going to be like virtual. Here's a great thing about kettlebell sport: you have specific numbers to shoot for. They still have in place the old Soviet Union Master of Sports, and they've adopted it to other kettlebell events. So I have those numbers to shoot for, and I did the day after my birthday shoot for my first numbers. I was supposed to. I think I mentioned to you, Duncan. Uh, I was supposed to get 210 to qualify in my age group with that weight on the triathlon event. There's three kettlebell clean and jerk, kettlebell jerks, kettlebell snatches, and 210 would qualify me for Master of Sports in my age group. And I ended up getting 311. So I definitely blew that out of the water. Pays to be old sometimes, doesn't it? It says it was something so stupid. We were talking about my pigs, and Big Al asked what my pets' names are. Phoenix said Mopsy, Flopsy, Benjamin, Cottontail, but she forgot to say Peter. Easy to watch it, but it was just funny. I will watch it. I'll go back. I was saying, how dare you? Also fantastic, but yeah, fun. Michael says, thanks, Yogi. That means a bunch coming from you. Michael, I've watched you. I've watched you, not just your channel grow, but you as a YouTuber. And I've seen you turn yourself into truly a professional. Phyllis says, I'm fine, Cherbear. Hey, Jamie. Jamie, how are you? How's the pull-ups going, Jamie? Phyllis says, keep me amazing, my friend. Let's see. Duncan says, easy qualifications. What are the numbers to win it? Well, that depends on what those other old guys are like. Hopefully, I have an advantage over the older people, but we'll see. I used to think the same thing in ultra running and races. Seems to me that the young, fast people turn into, if they keep racing, they turn into old, fast people, which sucks for me. I just like being back into it. I think it's doing me a lot of good. My shoulders feel better. My back feels better. How are your numbers, Duncan? Well, it says, I mean rabbits. Michael says, I got tickled in my live stream. I think my guest was talking about a high pitch. We can go for narrating or voice acting. And one of my mods asked, are you talking about when will you hit puberty? I busted again. Yeah, that must have been funny. Hey, speaking of the movies, when's it going to come out for your voiceover work? Let's see. Will says, "Have you got any plans for tomorrow, friend?" Let me guess. The same as today. The same as today. Tomorrow's kettlebell day, so I'll fit that in. Other than that, I got to find a ride to the bank. I mentioned before that you know ne- next month, actually June, but we got one more day of this month. Uh, my property taxes are due, and yeah, admittedly, I was concerned about it. I got a notification and a check just came in the mail a couple days ago. Well, last week, $879 from a policy that belonged to my dad with my name on it. For some reason, he listed just me, the beneficiary. Um, Not much, but it really, my dad passed away in October 2001. I, I really thought, we had gotten everything. It felt like, honestly, a gift from my father that through me being concerned, uh, the money's great, but that connection that I felt is what it's all about. Let's see. Fever Dreams animation is still editing. He's doing the finishing touches on it. Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hey, Home Slice, how are you? Home Slice, we were talking about you again today. 45-year-old guy was just completed a London Marathon a couple of years ago at 2:53. So obviously a very good runner. On his journey home, he tragically died. How did he die? That's a shame. MK, hey MK, I'm okay. I think well, not great to be honest, but not too bad. What what's going on, MK? MK says, "How about you, Willow?" Everyone's saying hi. Willow says, "If you're wondering, yesterday's live stream last night, I fell asleep. Uh, I forgot live. I did. Well, you needed to sleep. I'll be honest with you. If you need to sleep, I'd rather you be sleeping than being here." Michael says, "I did get a sneak peek of it though. Can't wait to see the final product." Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, Michael. Well, says, "In case you're like, where's Willow? Because I normally say before I leave." Gotcha. Thank you, Willow. Jimmy said, "I tried a bit of yoga nidra. I feel like it might have helped me recover." Nice. Which instructor, which guide did you pick? That's awesome, Jamie. I can't speak highly enough about yoga nidra. One day, maybe I will finish off my final exam, be certified. That's all that's left. I've actually done two certification processes. One was for an overall yoga program and leading yoga nidra at the end of the class. The other is specific to general yoga nidra. Shirley says, "Oh, Yogi, a visit from your father. I'm so glad for you." Thank you, Shirley. Um, I love how it felt like that. Um, that in a uh, time of need, in a time of really emotionally being down, um, and yes, even fearful. I don't mind saying, um, my father's always been there for me. The one person ever, uh, and I was extremely fortunate to do as little as I could, considering the that lifetime that my father gave me. to be his caregiver, end of life caregiver. He was actually his caregiver for 10 years, but he needed so little help, basically company. And he gave up driving after a stroke voluntarily. Um, so I, went took him to all his doctor's appointments. But it's only the last, not even a year, that he became, because of congestive heart failure, that things got bad for him. Uh, and you know what? The greatest gift I was ever given, you guys heard me tell this 1,000 times probably, was being able to be a caregiver for both my parents and return some of that care that they gave, especially especially with my mom because of the relationship that I had with her, which was, um, I mentioned before, I know my mom loved me. I wasn't absolutely sure she liked me. My mom suffered from depression, but when she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, she was a grade school teacher for over 50 years, and she was an outstanding teacher. But she became a spiritual teacher all through her Alzheimer's because I had to retrain my mind. I had to develop patience. Everything I had ever studied up to that point became a way of life. It wasn't just reading from a book. It wasn't just sitting and meditating. It was putting it all into the practice of caring for somebody and putting aside all past issues and dealing only with the present moment. Because again, when you're with someone with dementia of any kind, you gotta be very careful with your language. You can't say, "Don't you listen? I just told you. How many times do I have to tell you? Pay attention." Because it's only this moment. And that's the essence of spiritual teaching. Ram Dass, be here now. So my mom put me right there, that moment, now, and taught me really the depth of love because she became someone that I feared as a kid. Sharp word, criticism, a look, and I'd be devastated. Um, and also try to hide that devastation. Uh, all that dropped, and all that was left was vulnerability. So it was time to step up and show tenderness to that vulnerability. It was a gift. I wrote a poem, uh, uh, Final Lesson, years ago. She passed away in 2011. Everyone thought my father would pass away soon after because they've been married for so long and he was devoted. But he lasted a healthy and happy 10 years. He missed her, of course, but he kept busy. All right. Sorry, guys. Thank you, Shirley. Well, it says, I hope you get okay, MK. Send in prayers. Well, joining you in prayers for MK. MK, you know how to reach me. Home Skillet says, hey, Home Skillet. Hey, Share Bear. I know I said, I know I said hi earlier, but hey, I like getting enthusiastic about my friends. What's up, Evan? Hey, man, I saw my mom today. Uh, he was it was nice. My dad just had neck surgery to fix pain. I talked to him on phone. Kind of sucks seeing the antagonistic side of them. I can understand that. Evan, here's a lesson from A Course in Miracles where they talk about relationships. We don't try to change relationships on the outer. We don't try to change it through uh, talking to other people and trying to make things right. That might work for a little while. What is asked for is to change our thoughts about people and the situation. This is why the Course talks about asking for a miracle. A miracle is a shift of perception. Can I see this situation differently? Can I see it through the lens of love? You're seeing the story of your parents, a story that you tell about your parents, your perception. Of course, your parents aren't a story, and they have their own stories about themselves, and they have their story about you. So all these stories are colliding, clashing, and no one is ever seeing the truth about each other. It only takes one person to decide, I want to see things differently, and asking for that miracle. Jimmy says it was a 12-minute one. Nice. That's a good length, I think. Jamie? Michael's, let's see. Sorry, guys. Hey, Toy Pups. Duncan says, not sure how the marathon runner died, but he was a seasoned runner having done many marathons. I was just surprised. Sometimes a genetic thing can be lurking. Yes. We talked about this the other day. It never, no one's ever immune from anything. Michael Zaffin says, yep, happened. It's one of my best horror music videos. I was like, maybe I should put the chat on autopilot and let my mods handle it. Hey, Susanna, what did I miss? Oh, don't feel bad, Willow. I missed the music premiere because I fell asleep. However, I did get a ton of views and likes. Nice. Okay. MK says, just some past feelings brought back. I might send you a message on Messenger later, Yogi. I'll be on the lookout for it. Yep, we can do breath work. Willow sending prayers to me. Hey, thank you. Willow, thank you so much. Did you and your dad ever clash? Yeah, we did. I was a stupid teenager until I was about 30 years old. And he worried about me. And I made some bad decisions in my life. Let's say I clashed with my dad. Dad was always patient. He was always kind. But being a dad, he would let you know when you were stepping off the path. And since I stepped off the path so frequently and for so long with so many issues, there was some clash. But with my dad, I was never afraid. I might be afraid of disappointing him. I'm still afraid of disappointing him. When I lost my dad's car, because I couldn't afford to get all the stuff that needed, it took so long to get it out of um, what's it called when you're waiting for the estate to be settled. I inherited his car. By the time it all took place and I could make some changes with it, I had lost insurance. I tried to get the insurance. They said I needed to get it inspected. It wouldn't pass inspection unless I spent over $3,000. The car was 20 years old. Just one thing led to another. I couldn't afford to keep it, and I lost it. And I really thought I must have disappointed my father somehow. These are, like MK was saying, these are just old stories being replayed. Not true. I didn't disappoint my father by losing the car. I told myself that. It felt like that. It's just an old emotional story resurfacing. There's the power of awareness, just being aware that you're telling yourself a story, and a story is never true. Even a non fictional story isn't true. It's a representation of something seen through our perceptions, but not seen as an actuality. Again, this is why the Tao Te Ching begins with the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. The life that can be described is not the true life. Can anyone really, really, really describe a flower in essence? What's up, toy pups? How are you, Yogi? How's everyone? I'm good. Thank you for the mentoring today. Cat says, Yogi, did you ever see why I said wowzers? No, I didn't. I didn't see it. What was it? Why the wowzers? So Pup says, we love learning spirituality. It's healing. It is healing. Shirley says, Toy Pups, I'm glad I can say hello to you before I have to leave. Awesome. Toy Pups, you're connected with Shirley, right? Shirley is an awesome, awesome person. It's funny. Whatever live stream you're in, when Shirley's there, the host will say, Shirley's an awesome, awesome person. It's just so true. Hey, Dolly. Phoenix says, love to you all. Love to you, my friend. Michael says, yep, I've definitely become more patient since you and I became friends last year, Yogi. One of my favorite lines from A Course in Miracles, infinite patience produces immediate results. Seems paradoxical, right? Meaning, when you practice infinite patience, you're patient. The wise sage, the yogi saint, lover toy pups, has said, the thing is the thing. Guess what? When you're practicing giving love, you're loving. A lot of people are like, well, how can you be so patient? How can you be so loving? How can you be so kind? I'm not any more than you are. We practice. When you practice being kind, you're kind. It's so easy. It's so simple. What do you want to be? Practice it. Demonstrate it. And teach it. We teach what we most need to learn. Phoenix says, sorry, I'm late. You're always exactly on time, my friend Dolly. Well, it says, Yogi, need to let you know I missed your first live stream in the morning and the middle one, just because, well, I have Rebel to the vets. Just normal checkup. Don't worry. Understood. Thank you, Willa. Michael says, hey there. Willow, I'm on the lookout for Captain Jack. Why she said wowzers. Willow says, we'll probably need a lot of time. Well, yeah, because he's Rebel. Willow says, Phoenix, so laughing. Dolly. Willow was talking about how much fun she had with you at the end of the live stream. Let's see. Toy Pup says, we love you telling about your mom and dad. Yogi, thank you so much. Thank you, Toy Pups. Phoenix says, MK Yogi, I'm sorry for your losses. Thank you, Dolly. Shirley says, I'm in a rosary crew that meets at 5 p.m. CDT, so I'll pray my way for all of you. Thank you. I'll be thankful for all of you. We are thankful for you, Shirley. I always have my beads with me. Strand. I'm trying to think of his first name. He wrote a wonderful book about roaming in the night, but he's also talked about the divine feminine as are typically displayed by Mother Mary and the re-embracing of that divine feminine. Read it several years ago. I have a book, Rewilding the Masculine by his daughter, Sophia Strand. Such an important book I read last night. Or, sorry, last year. Probably the most important book I read all of last year. And that got me switching from doing regular japa with the beads, which is repetition of the mantra, to revisiting saying the Hail Mary. I get we have our good Christian friend that gives me a hard time for talking about Christianity and doing Christian practices without being a Christian. I see no spit for that at all. Practice what makes your heart sing, whatever that might be. Well, it says sending love and prayers to all. Thank you so much. Hey, Jacob. Thanks for coming in, Jacob. Again. We get love from Toy Pups. Jacob says, Brother Mr. Yogi is the best yogi in the game. Sorry, I messed up my typing. Thank you so much, Jacob. That was a lovely comment. I very much appreciate that. I would say I'm the best yogi doing burpees in my basement. I'm going to take that. I am the best yogi doing burpees in my basement. My basement. There might be a better yogi doing burpees in his basement, but in my particular basement, I can't be beat. You still hanging out with this cat? Yeah, I went all the way to the top of the conversation, cat, and I still did not see I didn't see the explanation for the wowzers. I'll be back down at the bottom in just a second, guys. Apologize. So I'm real happy that Jamie Brown did some yoga nidra. I mean, I talk enough about it. Kat says yes, still here. Hey, Carl. Carl says good night. Carl, are you still in Florida? Hey, Coffee Cake. One of the best names on all of YouTube. Coffee Cake 11 Beach. Hey, Bisay. Greetings, Yogi. Hello, Toy Pups. I always like checking in. I always like when you do check in. What's up, CC? What else you keeping in the basement? Let's see. Lots of kettlebells. Pull-up bar, dip bar. My brother. My brother's in the basement. He's got there's a little studio apartment in the basement. And a lot of junk. A lot of tools that I don't use. What's up, Songahan? Kat says, I did say shh, so the chat took me seriously. Big Al says, it's me, it's Big Al on his birthday, guys. Happy birthday to Big Al. Kat says, that's funny. Flip Up says, repeat it, Cat and Jack. You troublemaker. Songahan says, hi, Cat and Jack. CC says, why am I sensing sadness? A great deal of what we sense is a projection coming from within, and we project it upon others. So it's always a good idea to check in. Why are you sensing sadness? It's a good question. Hey, Billy Bob, the fish keeper. He truly is the fish keeper. What are you guys hiding from me? That's what I want to know. CC says, I feel great sadness and Yogi. Um, I don't know about great sadness. I mean, we were just talking about, I was just talking about my parents. Billy Bob says, hello to everyone. It's nice to see you, my friend. You guys hooked up with Billy Bob? Him and Maddie. No F's, no frills, no mercy. I mention it all the time. They're artists. I never would have thought of that. Um, you know, aquariums, my sister had aquariums for a very long time. Whip Up says, CC, we are sad. Carl says, I'm disappearing off YouTube for a while. But you know what? Presenting your aquarium. I'm sorry, Carl. Carl, why are you disappearing? I know you've been unhappy on YouTube for quite some time. Get a happy birthday to Big Al from Toy Pups. Song Ahead says, is his brother doing workouts in his basement? In the basement. He does have a treadmill. He does do a little bit of yoga. But not really much working out. What's up, Silly Unk? What's up, Yogi, mi amigo? Silly Unk. You know what? I mentioned this before. That's the perfect name for you. How you doing? CC says, I love you, Yogi. Keep smiling. Thank you, CC. I love you too, my friend. You are a very insightful person. I always appreciate what you offer. Big Al says, the birthday person, Willow. I'm a male. You can say birthday boy. I'm not offended by gender. Soulstar says he sang to himself for his own birthday. He did sing to himself. Soulstar sang for him too on her channel. Big Al says, cheer MK. Toy Pup says, Silly, you changed your name? I don't know if Toy Pups can come up and sing. Toy Pups, you want to sing happy birthday? CC says, I'm sad about something. Are you? That's the question. Are you? You might be highly sensitive, highly empathic. Meaning that if you came in, I was talking about my parents, which always, it's a weird sadness. You know what I mean? Not weird. It's an indescribable sadness. It's a sadness that you don't mind. It's a sadness that I don't mind. It goes back to, if you guys mind if I read a poem? It's a Rumi poem. Death Metal Birthday. We had Death Metal Birthday. We had two versions of opera birthdays. We had plain old vanilla Happy Birthday for me. Man, if I could, I would try to do a country version of Happy Birthday. Well, says Big Al, you got Yoda saying Happy Birthday when he was barking. Big Al says, I wouldn't react negatively if you called me the wrong gender. Willow, I'd politically correct you, politely correct you. Just take my supplement, guys. Forgot. Big Al says, Yoda saying happy birthday. I feel special. Songhead says, I'm good, Yoda, but about you? Oh, thank you, CC. Please read poem. I still want to know what Cat and Jack is hiding from me. This is Love Dogs. I'm tempted to say this is my favorite Rumi poem, but I say that about every Rumi poem I'm about to read. So think about, as I read it, what we were talking about. That different kind of sadness when you talk about missing loved one or a loved one that seems missing. That's the operative word, seems missing. Hey, Jonathan. How you doing today, buddy? Jonathan, I'm good. How are you? Nice to see you, my friend. It's called love dogs. One night a man was crying, Allah, Allah. His lips grew sweet with the praising, until a cynic said, So, I have heard you calling out, but have you ever gotten any response? The man had no answer to that. He quit praying and fell into a confused sleep. He dreamed he saw Kader, the guide of souls, in a thick green foliage. Why did he stop praising? Because I've never heard anything back. This longing you express is the return message. The grief you cry out from draws you towards union. Your pure sadness that wants help is the secret cup. Listen to the moan of a dog for its master. That whining is the connection. There are love dogs no one knows the name of. Give your life to be one of them. Man, even my cat said wow. But here's the thing. A man was praising God, praising Allah, but he never heard a response that he knew of. So he got depressed and he quit praying. He quit praising Allah until he had that sleep. And in the sleep, an aspect of God, messenger of souls, explained to him the grief, when you're grieving, the grief that you cry out from is the union with that person you seem to have lost. Grief is the message. It draws you towards union. It draws you to the realization that you've never lost anyone. If you can grieve, you're connected. Your pure sadness that wants help, your pure sadness that wants help is the secret cup that we all drink from. Our sadness is the connection. We have the capacity to feel sad. We have the capacity to feel broken. That's a gift. And we're always pushing it aside and we're thinking, I need to be fixed. I need to be whole. You don't get any more whole than brokenness because what's revealed is spaciousness itself, your ability to hold everything and everyone. Pray that your heart gets broken because a closed off, walled off, stone heart keeps you from truly, truly experiencing divine love. What A Course in Miracles calls a holy relationship. Your pure sadness when helps is a secret cup. It begins, the longing that you expressed is the return message. When we long for God, when we long for spirit, when we long for a connection with others, that's the return message, the longing itself. Listen to the moan of a dog for its master. That whining is a connection. What great spiritual lessons we get from dogs, as demonstrated from Toy Pups and Jack of the aforementioned Cat and Jack. Sorry, guys. I get lost when I read poetry. CC says, I will tell you a bit about my story. I was raised by a mother who hates children. I think that sums up a lot. It does sum up a lot, my friend. I'm sorry about that. Cat says, I repeated it. You missed it again. All right. Let me go back up here. Guys, pause the conversation. Cece says I was born in July. Sorry I missed so much. I have What's McCoffee song in hand. I was born in July. Empathy is natural. Gotcha. I didn't know that. Why do I keep missing it? And why aren't you calling me out on this? We'll do breath work in just a minute. I think Cat and Jack is just toying with me. I'm scrolling all the way up. Why am I missing it? As soon as I get to the bottom, we're gonna do some breath work. Carl says goodbye, Yogi. I'm sorry I missed your goodbye, Carl. Billy Bob says thank you, Yogi. You're welcome, Billy Bob. I really appreciate what you're doing, you and Maddie. I'm determined. I'm determined to find this. Song of Hand says, poem, poem, poem. What do you guys think of the poem? I'm not the best poetic interpreter, but I love reading it. Cat's just toying with me. I went all the way back for the second time. So, Dan, CC, I'm sorry to hear that. She had OCD. Yeah, before you came in, I talked about my own mother having depression. She was a great school. She was a great school teacher. She taught first grade, but when she got home, she was tired of kids, and I didn't make it easier for her. I was a troubling kid, not a bad kid, but you know, I was not great in school. I had issues. Um, always thought it not what my mom wanted, and she sort of expressed that in her own way. Everything at mom's house had its place. Sit perfectly still, kids. Indeed, it was eternal sadness. Home Slice says, looking happy today, Yogi. Thank you, Home Slice. Phil says, my dad was dead when I was young, and my mom got in jail when I was 15 and now 21. So, yes, just a bit of my story. Kat says, really, it must not want you to see. You're messing with me, Kat. Miss Jacob says, you look tired, Miss Yogi. I am a little bit tired. Thank you for noticing, Jacob. Cece says, thank you, Yogi. Thank you for sharing, Cece. And well, thank you. You've shared a bit of your story before. If in any way sharing the stories, we can help each other, just by being a presence there for each other. Phoenix says, thank you, Yogi. Thank you, Phoenix. Thank you, Songahan. I need that coffee. This is the best kind of coffee in the evening, virtual coffee, because it won't keep me up. Songahan says, coffee for the tired yogi. Songahan, you are truly, truly an amazing person. My live stream, the chat is always better for having you as well as Danny in it. It's gonna for me. It's always a successful live stream when Songahan and Danny are here. So we'll do breath work in just a minute. Although I do keep sneaking back up in the conversation, hoping to catch what Kat said. I admit. It's good though that I keep going back up because I'm missing other comments I get to catch up on. Any request? Hey, I missed Noah. GOF's Noah. I apologize. That Noah, I'm so sorry. Oh, Shirley, it says I would love to, and Shirley's gone. I missed that too. I would love to have you tell us about all the photos you have as thumbprints. Is that the right term? Thumbprints, yes, right. Thumbnails, thumbprints. It's the same thing. That was my very first 50K. Done on a whim with about a little over 2 months worth of training. The longest I had run, I was training for kettlebell sport. The longest, which I'm training for again, the longest I had ever run, not ever, but in my recent training for the past few years, was maybe 3 miles, maybe. And I signed up for a 31 point plus race because I read a book and I said, I want to do this. Little did I know that it would consume me for the next 10 years, as well as everyone in my immediate orbit. Hey, Runner Boy, I have a request. Sing Mr. Brightside. I don't know the song. Cat says it must be on another dimension. Barely getting through. Cat says, Yogi, great thumbnail. Thank you. That was 2009. Well, it says my cat breath, Vader breath. We can do that. Let's do 4-8 because that will put us in a nice, relaxed mood. July is empathy. April is narcissistic. I hope not. Sungin says, have you seen Danny today? I haven't seen Danny today. How's that sound? 4-8 breath? Willow says, love that breath. We're going to do, we got some David Bowie. Here I am, floating around my tin can. What an awesome song. Far Above the Moon. Man, I went through a huge David Bowie phase in the early 80s, but not the 80s David Bowie. You know, if you Google it, you can find a book list, David Bowie's favorite books, one of which was On Having No Head by Douglas Harding, which is one of the most influential books I've ever read. Gave me an instant awakening. Cecil says, uh, Taurus Bull April. Well, it's also the Ram, as I'm an Aries. Stubborn, his wife. Will says, I'm ready. All right, let's do it. We're gonna do some breath work. We got that big grin on Cece's face. We got some Jacob Love. So for those who would like to participate, we're gonna do the Ram is Aries. That's me. I'm an Aries. We're going to do the 4-8 breath with the Ujjayi breath. The ha sound. Breathing in through the nose for count of 4, noticing the natural pause. Exhaling through the nose, slow, extended for count of 8. We're going to do that for 10 rounds. So I'll be out of the chat for about 3 minutes. For those who want to participate, let me know if you want. Will says, yes, ready, Yogi. All right. Hey, Wendy. Wendy's Frosty. Full Source says yes. We get some Jacob Love. All right. So, for those who are participating, sit and relax. And here's how we're going to relax. Before we do anything, we're going to scan the body. We're going to start at the very top of the head. And just using the power of our awareness, we're going to notice. Don't even have to make any changes. Just bring that awareness to the top of the head. Offer it a little bit of light. And then extend the awareness down to the temples and the eyes. And just notice. Notice whatever it is you're feeling, and then move on to the jaw. Noticing, letting go. Awareness to your shoulders. Just that sense of being aware causes instant relaxation, and it travels all the way down to your fingertips, as you're aware of the sensations in your fingers. Bring that same sense of awareness to your belly. Noticing it how when you breathe in, the belly rises. As you exhale, the belly falls. Be aware of your hips, your thighs, your calves, all the way down to your toes. Completely relax. And in every out breath you take, that relaxation deepens and deepens and deepens. The breath is flowing easily and naturally. Belly is rising and falling. You're breathing in through your nose. You're exhaling through your nose. We're going to introduce that ha, Ujjayi breath. Breathing in with that soft ha. Exhaling, gentle, gentle, gentle ha. Breathing in, breathing out. We're going to get ready to breathe in for count of 4. Natural pause and exhale for count of 8. Slowing the breath down. So we're going to breathe in for count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let the breath go. Allowing yourself to breathe smoothly and naturally, easily. No effort. The Tao Te Ching says that no effort is needed and yet everything gets done. It's the secret to the universe, the secret for manifesting whatever it is you desire. So in this easy space that we've created, place your intention, your wish, your heartfelt desire, and what you would like to see manifest easily and naturally in your life, allowing the universe to cooperate and bringing it into fruition. And then let it go and allow the universe to handle the details, knowing that you will follow the synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences, and respond accordingly. Sit in this space as long as you feel like. When you're ready, open your eyes. I'll see you in the chat. Namaste. Cecil says, "Why you guys breathe?" Oops. 1 second, guys. Thank you, Cece.
Good evening.
Birthday.
Good evening, Yogi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. It's
I'm being very
sounding a
quiet because
little,
people are coming out of
little
their breathing.
I can barely hear you.
Sorry, I said I was being quiet because people are coming out of their breathing.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It's a relaxing moment, so I was being considerate.
I'm having a hard time hearing you,
Can you hear me now?
though. Let's see. Say something again.
Hello.
Yep, I can hear you, but not very loud at all.
I don't know what that's all about.
Probably my phone. It's been acting up for a few weeks now.
Fair enough. I was talking quietly anyway because I was trying to be considerate. Obviously, people were still coming out of the breathing exercise you've just done.
Right.
So I was trying not to speak too loud. I didn't want to make people jump.
So, how's the closing hours of your birthday?
Yeah, they've been okay.
How was the visit with your parents?
Could have been better.
It couldn't have been, or could have been.
Sorry?
It couldn't have been, or could have been.
Could have been.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's just yeah, it got a bit we had a debate and the debate got a bit tense.
Um, yeah. Well, let's see if we can put that behind us now and celebrate the last few minutes. Uh, we'll celebrate. Let me just leave it at that. The last few minutes we have on your birthday, we're gonna celebrate Big Al and all that he brings to all of us. And I hope, I mention this a lot. I hope you do realize um, how much you bring to the table for all of us.
Yeah, Willow said some really nice things earlier. I don't know if you saw them in the chat. Obviously you were reading a lot and reading your poem and things. But no, Willow said some very nice things. And it was nice to read.
And Willow's a very insightful person. So she has a deep wish of helping people feel better about themselves. If I had a deep wish that could be fulfilled, it would be that Willow could turn that back on herself a little bit, because she sees the truth about you, Big Al, and she mentions it, which is a beautiful trait.
Yep.
If she used that same gift to see how beautiful she actually is, um, that would just be awesome.
Yes, indeed. I've noticed the past week, maybe the past few days, but the past week, Willow's become a bit more confident. I think confident is the right word. I've definitely seen a different side to her.
Right.
And I mean that in a good way, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, it was very kind of her to say the nice things about me, and I, as with everyone, I do appreciate it. I don't just say that; I mean it. I appreciate you allowing me up here. I appreciate Willow saying nice things about me. I appreciate you all wishing me happy birthday. It does mean a lot to me.
Here's my thoughts. Things work holistically, coinciding with each other. That you're seeing a different side and a more um, uh, confident Willow because you have been opening up yourself and allowing yourself to be vulnerable in the chat, uh, sharing some issues, uh,
Yeah.
and that opens other people up as well. And then they open up, and you see a different side of them, and it just keeps expanding. That sense of we're all in here for each other just keeps expanding and expanding and expanding.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important for you to realize the importance of being Big Al. That's why it's important for Willow to realize the reason why she's here. The reason why she's here is for her to heal. And the way for her to heal is to help other people heal.
Indeed.
Same
That
with me.
that is correct.
You hear my cat singing happy birthday to you?
Thank you, cat. What is the cat's name, Yogi?
I'm not sure. This is either the black cat or it's the other black cat.
Oh, okay.
Hey, which one are you? She actually doesn't care. She answers to the sound of a can of cat food being opened.
Right. Yep. It's kind of like me. If I hear someone open a tin of mushy peas, I also respond.
I knew that was going to come up. So you would come right. So you think you could make a distinction between a can of mushy peas being opened and a can of I don't know. I'm going to say beets.
Yes, I reckon I could.
So you're so tuned in to the essence of mushy peas that you could do that. That's pretty amazing.
I'm like a sniffer dog in the world of mushy peas. If I'm 2 rooms away and I hear beans being opened, I'm not interested. But if I hear a tin of peas being opened, I'm right there.
Hey, Rebecca. Rebecca says, Big Al.
Hi, Rebecca.
So, what's the deal with that, though? I thought the English put beans on every single meal.
That's quite frankly, Yogi, that's a vicious rumor that's started by Americans that are jealous of our magnificent culture, and they wish they too could put baked beans on everything. But unfortunately, baked beans doesn't go with ranch dressing.
Man, slammed Americans. It was funny that.
I
I'm going to
mean, no
go
offense
by
to anyone.
what I'm shown
Just,
because I have lots of friends in England made through YouTube. Pretty amazing, and they've sent me clips. Almost every meal Jason's ever sent me, and it's almost on a daily basis, has beans upon beans. So, like, he'll have a plate of baked beans. Then, how do you top off a plate of beans? You put more beans on top of the beans. Every meal. So,
you see, what I do is if I put beans on anything, the way to top beans off is to put barbecue sauce on them.
it would be better with ranch, by the way.
I'll be honest, I've never had ranch dressing. But if it's anything in like if it's in the same family as mayonnaise or
Yes.
salad cream, then I wouldn't like it because I don't like mayonnaise or salad cream.
I don't blame you. I don't, I don't have ranch because they do make vegan ranch. Um, but I've gotten to the point with my own meals. I never really need anything to enhance fruits and vegetables. To me they taste like fruits and vegetables, which I absolutely love. So I don't do a whole lot of condiments unless I eat out, which I haven't done for quite some time. Although I'm not opposed, if anyone would like to drive up to Maryland and take me out for pancakes, uh, I'm available. Just putting it out there for anyone in the chat who might feel like they want to drive up. Let me just pick a random state off the top of my head. Tennessee. I'm just picking a random state. If anyone would like to drive up from Tennessee and buy me some pancakes, I'd be perfectly fine with it.
So I'm basically excluded, Yogi. I can't fly across the pond and buy you pancakes.
Although you never know, I might fly over and hang out with Jace for a week. In which case, if I'm in Great Britain, I'm hanging out with Big Al. I would not go to England without hanging out with Big Al.
I think it's only right, since I am the king.
This is true. Um,
This is my little kingdom, so yep, you have to meet me.
and of course, I'd have to hang out with Squirrel Sniper, Hydra. We'd have to. That would be a good time for you and Rebecca to have your race. I could be the judge.
Yep, indeed.
CC said baked beans on taco with ranch dressing and bacon. What do you think of that, Big Al?
Well, I don't eat bacon. I don't like bacon. As I've just said, I've never had ranch dressing, and if it's the similar kind of thing to mayonnaise or sour cream, then it's a no. But the baked beans and taco, yeah, I could eat that.
Let's see. Yeah, now in the States, bacon is everything. Not for me, but man, in America they put bacon on everything. CC says I'm Canadian.
I'm going to. Sorry, go on.
Oh, CC was saying he's Canadian. So Canadian bacon is more like ham than actual bacon.
And I'm going to offend all Americans right now because Americans don't eat proper bacon. Americans eat shoe sole bacon. It's very dry, very crispy. It's not bacon at all. You guys can't call that bacon.
If I was a meat eater, I'd say we'd have a bacon off. Who makes the best bacon between Great Britain and America and Canada? CC is laughing. Hey, here's a question. Like with Willow, how difficult would it be for Great Britain's English friends to have a day of hanging out with each other?
It depends where people are. I personally, and this is not to be rude to anyone, but like to travel up way up north to the north of England. It's like a day of traveling. Depending on how I travel, it'd be a day of traveling, and then I'd have to probably stop somewhere for the night.
Right.
So it'd be more cost restrictive than it would be logistic. Getting to a destination isn't a problem. It's staying in that destination for a night or two. It becomes very costly, and especially if I'm not familiar with the area, it's homework. It'd be looking at the prices of things and finding out what there is to do as well. Because obviously, I wouldn't just want to visit someone and sit and have a cup of tea. Okay, I'm English, but we don't just do that. But it would be finding an activity to do with the person or people, depending on how many people decide to meet up at once. It can be done. I've done it with mates in the past, but yeah, it's one of the things where you have to look and go, look at the cost of everything.
Right. CC says add crumpets. So yeah, of course, not just tea. You have to have crumpets too.
So Yogi, just talking about the travel and stuff, Yogi.
Yep.
If I was going to spend a lot of money traveling and staying somewhere, I would use my money. If you said to me, you can spend the weekend in Scotland, or you can fly to America and spend the week, the more sensible thing to do, because is to fly out to America and spend the week. It's
Right.
money's worth, and it's for me specifically, and I speak from experience. It's more beneficial to spend that much money because I know how much roughly it would cost. It's more beneficial to stay in America for a week than it is to go to Scotland for the weekend. Well, a weekend's a bit of an exaggeration. For like 3 or 4 days, it's definitely going to America for 7 days is a bit of a more sensible and money, value for money.
Makes sense. Hey, do you have any desire to visit America?
Yeah, I mean, not right now, but years ago, I did want to go to America. And I had the opportunity to go to America for free, and I was stupid not to accept. But I also had work commitments. Obviously, I was serving, so I couldn't just take time off. But I did. The person who I was going to be staying with was willing to pay for me to travel across, and obviously would have given me somewhere to stay. I would have been staying with him. And it's not as creepy as it sounds. I was going to be staying with a guy, but it wasn't like, I'd met someone on the internet and he was like, "Oh, you should come over," and like serial killer kind of thing. It was someone who I knew, I knew personally, who had been to the UK, in fact, and met me and things like that. And in return, obviously, it was like almost like an exchange thing. He'd come here, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you should come here. You should come to America." And like I say, had the opportunity. He was willing to pay for me to travel, willing to pay for me to stay with him for however long, and I declined. Like I say, for work reasons, really, work commitment. But I do also wish, because I had that opportunity, I do wish I'd taken the opportunity.
Hey, if you were to come to the United States, is there like a particular place that you'd like to see?
Honestly, I think I'd travel really because there's a few places in America I want to see. Now to you, I mean, I'm speaking from a tourist point of view, and obviously you live in America, so you may have a different viewpoint of certain states or cities or anything. But I'd like to visit Boston specifically. I wouldn't mind visiting, obviously, New York, LA, those kind of places.
Right.
But I'd also like to visit somewhere like Texas as well.
I
And
haven't been to LA. I've been to Texas, been to Boston, been to New York. I love all of America. I love the diversity of America. It is. It's a beautiful area. I'd love to go to Great Britain. I feel a great affinity. I mean, it's my ancestral lands, McCarty. I'm Irish, Scotch Irish, as well as English on my father's side as well.
Yeah.
And I love that ancient feel of England, of all of Great Britain, actually. I used to think that
we
I'd
have
like.
some cities. Sorry.
Go ahead.
With you just saying with it being with the ancient part, in there is actually some cities where the council aren't allowed to do anything to the houses. The government can't the council can't change certain things. The buildings are protected; they're listed. And you can go to some cities and walk down a whole street where you feel like you're back in the 50s.
Yeah, nice.
And it's really special. Like where I live, I don't want to give anything away because I know that there's a few English people in the chat. But where I live, we have a nice cathedral, and there are a couple of streets where nothing's changed or not a lot has changed. Maybe buildings have had fresh paint and new signs, but there is a street where you can walk down. I love it. I walk down it a lot actually. Next time I'm there, I might take some pictures. But you walk down the street and there's an old-fashioned sweet shop. The woman's wearing like 1940s polka dot style dress, and you can go in and pick and mix and things like that. And you feel. I mean, obviously, I weren't alive back then. The fact that you are 60 Yogi, I know you weren't alive back then. So you do feel like you're stepping back in time. When you go in that sweet shop, and yeah, just the whole feeling of it is it's magical.
Nice. It sounds like it. And for me, I was told by a couple of English friends that I'm romanticizing it a bit, which is okay. I think some things are meant to be romanticized. I like that old feeling of England. So who knows? Maybe I will. You hear me knocking on your door. If you see a 6-year-old bald guy knocking on your door, Big Al, it's just me. Don't worry about it.
I'd probably mistake you for somebody else. I mean, let's say Jace, for example.
That could happen.
My only advice to anyone from any country, not just Americans, but my advice to any tourists from any country, if you're visiting England, please visit England, not just London. London is not England. It's not just England, is what I meant to say. Sorry.
Right.
But that's what I mean. A lot of tourists come over and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to visit England," and they visit London, and it's like that's okay. It's the capital. There's a lot of things to see there. There's Buckingham Palace and all that kind of thing, and you aren't going to find a palace where I live. We don't have palaces where I live, but we do have. We are a tour. My city is a tourist hotspot. We have museums that are literally free to enter because
Nice.
we get that many tourists, and like the money from souvenirs is enough to keep the museum open. They don't charge people for entry because they make that much money from souvenirs. It's just they don't need to. They can stay open by doing that, which is helpful because obviously you're not obliged to buy a souvenir. No one's forcing you to. But the fact that they sell that many souvenirs, they can remain open for free, it tells you something about where I live. I mean, I go there. I've been there a few times because although I live here and the museum is a museum that's celebrating the life of the history of the city, I still have managed to learn things about my city. That I didn't know before and that I weren't taught in school.
Nice.
So
I'd definitely like to visit the countryside more than the cities.
Yeah, I live in quite a rural area. Where I live is it's like extreme really because you can drive 5 minutes from me in one direction and be in a really busy city with obviously a lot of buildings and rivers, but you drive like 10 minutes in the other direction and you're surrounded by fields.
Nice.
It's very, but that's what's special about it as well because I can go walking. I used to love walking with my brothers, and I can go walking and find 20 different routes through fields, through woodland. I've bumped into deers, and deers are obviously quite a rarity if you live in a city. But the fact that I live in an area where you can walk 10 minutes and be in the woods and 10 minutes and be
Right.
in a city is magical because I've seen everything from birds that I've never seen before, like storks and herons and things like that, to walking out of the way and finding deers.
Nice.
And they're not the kind of things, when we think of British wildlife, back when I was a kid, the most I saw was a squirrel, a couple of wild rabbits, and pigeons. But obviously, as I've got older and gone on these walks and things, and you know, yeah, it's fantastic. But like I say, my only advice to any tourists visiting England or the UK, you might not just visit England, but anyone who is visiting England specifically, don't just go to London. Do visit the rural areas. York is a nice city. There's places up north, places to the west, places down south. There isn't just London, so please do, if you are visiting England, visit England.
Sounds good. All right, Big Al, I'm going to wrap things up. It's just about my bedtime. I think we're officially just past your birthday, right?
My phone says 11:59.
So we're going to be on for one more minute because we want to spend the last bit of your birthday with you.
That would be nice. Since my mum hasn't messaged me back, I told her to let me know when she was home, and she hasn't texted me back yet.
How long of a drive does she have?
She should be home by now. They left just after they left. Well, I joined the stream as soon as they'd gone. I saw them off, and I came and joined the stream, and that was a while ago because I've now been live with you for 26 minutes. So yeah, they would easily be home. I know what's happened. They've gone straight to bed. My mum said she was tired. She'll have gone home, gone straight to bed, forgotten about texting me. She'll text me in the morning and it'll be fine. So I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, no, I'd rather spend the last minute of my birthday with someone who's, well, that sounds rude to my mum. I didn't mean it like that. But yeah, I'll spend the last minute with you, Yogi, because it's precious.
Well, I appreciate that. And we've tried to, even when you weren't here, we have tried to celebrate you all day on every live stream.
I appreciate that, Yogi. You didn't have to do that.
Something that we wanted to, and it happened quite spontaneously. Wasn't forced at all. Everyone who came in the live stream just brought it up naturally that, hey, we're still celebrating Big Al. But again, let me just mention that it's well deserved. You're an important, I would say, essential part of the community. Rebecca says, hope you had a good birthday, Big Al.
It's been good, thank you. I got a new pair of slippers.
Nice.
Which I appreciate because I actually asked for a pair of slippers. My old ones they've got a tear in. Obviously, they're fabric. They've got a tear. So I asked my mum for a pair of slippers, and she got me a pair of slippers. So I'm happy.
It's a nice present. Soulstar says, hope it was great for you, Big Al.
Thank you, Soulstar. Yeah, I also got money off my sister and my brother-in-law. And I'm gonna obviously I'm gonna spend it on something sensible. So I've said to my sister I'll probably buy a couple of games, or a couple of new models. I want to build my model collection again, or a bit more. Sorry. So yeah, so she's happy because she said don't spend it on anything stupid, which I wouldn't have bought food or anything with it because I know what she means. I wouldn't have bought food with it. I would buy something genuinely that I can use, like a game or new model stuff, paints, glues, things like that, or even a new model itself, a new plane or a car or something, stuff like that. But yeah, no, I've had a good day. I had a little chat with my brothers. They both wished me happy birthday, so that was nice.
Nice.
No, I appreciate it, everyone. It's been great, and it's been made even better by the fact that I've been able to share it with everyone here.
I'm happy
I've never
to
had
hear
that
that
privilege
because
before.
that's why we're here. We do cover some important subjects, some deeply felt subjects, but at the same time, I also want it to be a place where we celebrate each other.
Indeed.
I got married on my 40th birthday.
Yeah.
And of course, I was with Mocha for 3 years before we got married. And that was
Yeah.
it was probably the happiest birthday ever. And I've had good birthdays since, but this last birthday, celebrating with all of you guys, was by far the happiest birthday since my wedding birthday.
Wow. Before you go, I know you're trying to go, and I apologize, Yogi, but I want to say one last thing. This is actually due to me serving. This was actually my first birthday in 3 years. I've actually seen family.
Oh well.
I was home for my 28th birthday last year, obviously. But I didn't have a mobile phone, and where I lived, I was a few hours away from. I was a few hours away from family, so they couldn't come and see me.
Right.
And I didn't have a mobile at the time. I broke my phone, so they couldn't even phone me on my birthday, and I couldn't phone them. So I didn't see them or anything. Otherwise, it would have only been 2 years since I saw family on a birthday. But due to that, it made it 3 years. So today, like my family coming to see me this evening, it was a really weird thing, because although I've been here and stuff like that, it's just like, we've actually seen each other for this birthday, which makes it even more special. But the
Well, I'm
fact is,
glad
obviously,
that happened
as
for you.
well. Thank you. But also, obviously, like I say, also the fact is that I've been able to share it with all of you, and it's been great, because I've never been able to share a birthday with such great people before.
I'm glad we can be part of it for you, Miguel.
I've got my mates and I've got family, but you guys are just extra special to me, and it's meant a lot being able to come into your stream tonight and pop in earlier, and to celebrate with all of you. I really do appreciate it. So thank you all.
Always. And you're welcome.
I will let you end the stream. I apologize for chatting away, but no,
Not a
I
problem.
really do
I appreciate it.
you.
All right, Miguel, thank you. And for the last time, happy birthday as well. Happy New Year's, my friend.
Oh, you beat me to it. I wanted to say Merry Christmas. You must have read my mind.
I knew it was going to come. I knew it was just a matter of time.
I was waiting for you to pause because I didn't want to speak over you, and then you said Happy New Year, and I was like, oh, he beat me.
I saw my opportunity and I took it.
You sure did.
All right, so I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to say goodnight to everyone right here.
Sorry, Yogi?
I said I'm just going to go ahead and say goodnight to everyone right here with you here, and we'll end the live stream.
Okay.
So thank you guys. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to see everyone tomorrow if you're around. Regular time, 3 times. I'll see you then. Take care, Big Al.
See you. Thank you very much, Yogi, and see you all tomorrow.
Yep. Bye, guys. I'm still here. Hold on. I am closing up. See you guys.